being victimized, a child who is abused or neglected, just make that report so we can get that child the help they need. Calling or reporting is easy. All you have to do is remember to call 211. If you are an adult, if you're a child, if you are in church, in your community group, wherever you are, once you are aware there's a child who is in need of care and protection, just be the one and call 211.
Crime is Jamaica's #1 threat. As we stay apart while working together to fight COVID-19, we must all live good and unite against crime and violence in Jamaica. Live good means talk it out, don't fight it out. We must live good to build a safe Jamaica. Stay home, stay safe, live good.
Life is about balance, about give and take. And forests give us so much. They purify our water. They clean our air. They fight climate change by capturing carbon. They give us food, life-saving medicines, and they improve our well-being. But our forests are vulnerable. They are endangered by fires, pests, droughts, and other threats. That is why we need to look after them. We need to give, not only take. Healthy forests for healthy people.
This is we're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Here it is.
In case of an earthquake and the place starts shaking.
Drop, cover, and hold on.
Drop, cover, and hold on. In case of an earthquake.
There's a few tips that can keep you from harm. In case of an earthquake, you gotta stay calm. Move away from doors, windows, and things that can fall. Try not to use steps or elevators at all.
Drop, protect your head and your face. Don't go running all over the place.
Cover,
under a bed or a table, against a wall that's firm and stable.
hold on.
You must hold on, don't panic, stay calm.
Don't move until the shaking stops.
Here it is.
Drop, cover, and hold on.
Drop, cover, and hold on. In case of an earthquake.
Drop, cover, and hold on.
Learn how to protect yourself during an earthquake. Log on to weready.org. That's weready.org for more information.
One, two, three, two more. 1, 2. Adults to 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right. Vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up. If we just eat right and get moving, jumping, running, dancing, or skipping, change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica, get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica, get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body.
It must be noted that of this number, there are 2 schools that received the email with a bomb threat twice. On Monday, November 13th, one school in Region 2, which is St. Thomas, reported it received a bomb threat, while on Tuesday, yesterday, November 14th, 2 schools reported to us that they received a bomb threat via email. All of our schools contacted the police upon receiving the email. They implemented their school safety protocols and evacuated the students and staff to a safe place. The Board of Management, through our chairman and chairwoman of all our schools, were engaged by the principals, and an executive decision to stop operations and contact parents to pick the students up from school was executed at some of the schools. Our directive as of now to our schools is to continue to take these threats seriously every time. And I just, on the screen, yes, it looks really, really busy, but it's not intended for you to read it. It's just to show that across the sector, we collected information on all the schools, the date that they received the threat, what actions were taken by the school, and what is the present state right now. We will be sharing this report with the JCF so that they have the detailed, fulsome evidence to build their case, and this will help them to see that indeed there was significant disruption across the education system. So we'll move on to the next page. So as a result of this, we've had to look at trauma response strategies. And so our guidance and counseling unit, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and other agencies, have collaborated and formulated an intervention protocol called Response to Trauma Events. And this will be used within our schools to provide support services to students, faculty, and staff who may have experienced emotional distress as a result of the traumatic event. And just to give you an example of what this is, for all our grades, we will have coping skills lessons, and that will be done by our health and family life education teachers, our guidance counselors. We will continue to do disaster drills with the aid of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and ODPEM. Of course, we will have coping skills lessons for our staff as well. We'll have some bounce back intervention, return to happiness therapeutic component will be involved there. And this intervention will continue to the end of December. We know that the JCF and our emergency responders are still continuing the work to identify who or what is behind this, and you will hear from them this morning as well. I will shift now to the second item on my list, which is our Sixth Form Pathways program, just to talk about quickly our initial enrollment and a quick recap of the noteworthy achievements for last year. So our initial enrollment for this academic year stands at 21,701, with 169 high schools and 40 tertiary or post-secondary centers participating. We want to commend all those institutions that continue to be on board. We know our students are engaged very deeply and meaningfully in the Sixth Form Pathways program. In order to get to these numbers where we are, obviously we had to do some work, and we had 95 regional multi-school PTA sessions held island-wide because it's important for us to engage our parents. We had 153 special meetings facilitated with grade 11 students in high schools, including independent schools, and of course, resensitization sessions with secondary school staff. We're off to another great year for our Sixth Form Pathways program. If you recall, this program was launched in September of 2020 in the pandemic, and so we're going into the fourth year of the program. As we look back on 2022-2023, we're delighted that about 43% of the students completed some 80 hours of work experience, and that will continue as well for the new cohort coming on board. After being piloted in 2019, the Sixth Form Pathways, or the 7-year high school program, was launched in September 2020 to allow students to graduate from secondary schools with one or more of the following, which would be an occupational associate degree, a certificate, or a diploma. And for my last item on the agenda, we look at how our communications plan is developing. As you know, we continue the journey to transform the education sector in Jamaica, guided by the recommendation of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, led by Professor Orlando Paddison. And one of our focus is on public education. And so our campaign has started under the theme TREND, which means Transforming Education for National Development, TREND. And I want to acknowledge Ms. Stacey Ann Smith for all the good work that she's done to get us out there in the public space. We have been having quite a bit of positive feedback from this. It was quite unexpected from the Ministry of Education and Youth, but we're showing that we're nimble, we're able to get out there and to get the attention of Jamaicans. To date, under our phase 1, which will last until January 31 of next year, we have done media campaign on TV, we have radio ads, we have time signals, we have print, we're all over social media, we've done radio and TV interviews, town hall meetings, school pop-ups, and we'll have many more of those. And we've also launched the Trend Dance Challenge on TikTok. Yes, we have to be a little glitzy in order to grab the attention of persons, and then we begin to really help them understand what transformation is and what is their role in transformation. We know by now, or we hope by now, all Jamaicans have heard our ads, or jingle, Follow the Big Trend, or 30-second ad, and we hope by now as well our students have seen the challenge, the dance challenge. We'd love to see their moves on this as we get Jamaicans to embrace transformation in education, which is so needed to help us raise the quality of the output and for us to ensure that our children are on the right trajectory, and we see a higher percentage of them heading into tertiary, because we know all of this will inure to economic development in Jamaica trend. Transforming education for national development. Thank you.
Watch the trend, pick up the trend. This are the trend, we all the use them. Watch the trend, pick up the trend.
I look forward, Minister, to see you doing the TikTok dance challenge. Thank you very much, Minister. We will now have joining us the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, as well as DCP Fitz Bailey, to give us an update as to the response of the government and law enforcement regarding the bomb threats. DCP and Minister. Minister, this side.
Thank you, Minister Morgan. Good morning, Minister Williams. We just heard from our Prime Secretary of Ministry of Education, Mr. Bailey John, up here, and of course, Mr. Colonel Edwards and Mr. Linton in the audience with us. The members of the media presence, good morning. I refer, of course, to the incident already expanded by the Ministry of Education as it relates to the education system. I repeat, at the risk of repeating, on Friday, first 2 days of that, 9th and 10th, there were 73 institutions were impacted, 71 schools, 1 hospital, 1 courthouse. And following Monday, some 5 institutions were impacted, including a commercial center, and and on this Tuesday, similarly, 6 institutions, 5 schools and a commercial institution, namely the Kingston Shopping Center, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and Kingston Wharves. The police, which have been monitoring and responding carefully and supported by the Jamaica Defense Force, specialized agents like CTOC, Jamaica Fire Brigade, the Ministry of Health in the case of the hospital, and ODPEM throughout the system, have indicated that they, based on the nature of the threats, that they were designed to disrupt and create a level of confusion in the society. However, they are being pursued aggressively, and all the required resources in the security force have been mobilized to identify and apprehend the perpetrators. We also have the support of our international partners, that include the FBI, which have been active in support from day one. The Deputy Commissioner will give some detail on the operational activity, but we have certainly been stretched by the activities, but our teams have responded very effectively, both the emergency operating team, the Jamaica Consular Force, the Jamaica Defense Force, the Fire Brigade, and the ODPEM. The activities, of course, indicate that while we responded and was able to do work and effective guidance to all the schools, provide effective support, we'll have to expand our emergency operating teams given this level of activity. This kind of activity in some communities have become fairly recurrent, and we'll have to ensure that we expand our teams. The teams in place have demonstrated an extremely high level of professionalism from both the JCF, JDF, and CTOC and others. But we'll have to expand that team and be prepared for any eventuality. Every call is taken with seriously. We will have to, of course, get some additional resources as well, in particular the dogs that are very effective in identifying if such explosives is in place. We'll have to continue training and sensitizing our institutions, schools, hospitals, courts, and commercial and public institutions who may be recipients of such threats, to ensure that the response can be proportionate, mature and sober, while at the same time ensuring some level of confidence while ensuring a level of confidence in their operation. We'll have to work with both the private and public sector in dealing with this new activity by criminal players. Of course, we'll have to look at the legislative framework, because currently I'm told the primary legislation we can charge individuals when we find them is on the public mischief. The activities certainly deserve more severe penalties, and we'll have to examine that as we go forward. But as we move forward, as I repeat, the JCF, supported by the JDF and Fire Brigade, elements of ODPEM, will take steps to educate and sensitize the institutions to ensure to update the standard operating procedures when such threats are received, both in terms of communicating with the required authorities, the police in particular, as well as how they respond within the institutions. We'll have to ensure that the various elements in the staff are alerted and sensitized and trained to be ready for any kind of threats. We have, as I said, had someone apprehended, but the work is not easy. The individuals involved are quite smart in terms of the use of the virtual space, and we have to backtrack to particular IP addresses. That is being done, and as said, we do so with the help of our international partners, because this can go not only originate at the local level, but anywhere in the globe, literally. That is the fact of life today, but our security forces said will take every step required, not only in collaborating among themselves and in utilizing whatever technical support we're provided, but also working effectively with our international partners. The kind of activity we are looking at has a wide source, and Jamaicans are all over the globe, even if it's not international players who are involved. That is the situation we have. I have the ability to expand on the operational activities to date.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Just to say that our resilience was tested over the past 4 years in terms of our ability to respond.
4 days.
4 days. To respond to these type of major incidents. What I will say at this time is that the police is pursuing several leads. We have the resolve and commitment to ensure that those persons who are responsible are brought to justice. Both the JCF and MOCA are working together with our international partners, as indicated by the Minister, to ensure that these persons who we believe are quite savvy in the cyber world, and in our interaction with our international partners, they have also indicated that these individuals are not just ordinary people. Some of the information that we have, we cannot disclose, but what I will say to the public, we are committed to ensure that those persons who are responsible will be brought to justice. We are doing some local leads, as I indicated. They use the Instagram platform, email, and telephone calls. That's the method that was used to issue the threats, and we are working around the clock to ensure that justice is done. I will not go any further in our investigative process.
Thank you very much, lady and gentlemen. Very important updates on recent illegal activity by hoaxsters. We will now open the floor to members of the media who are present, so they may pose questions to the Minister of Education, as well as the Deputy Prime Minister and representatives from MOCA and the JCF. Naomi?
Good morning, Minister. All right, wonderful. Any questions from members of the media? I'm sure there are. All right, let's start off with Jamila.
Can you elevate that microphone for me, please? Thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. I'm Jamila Maitland from TVJ. My question is, Chang, you know, we had an incident like this sometime last year. I think it was in Ocho Rios. There was a bomb threat. Do we believe now that there is enough teeth in the legislation to ensure that when the persons are caught, you know, there'll be stiff penalties or fines?
The scale of this particular threat has been much more than what happened in Ocho Rios. The legislation does provide some strength, but we think we should strengthen it, because where there's a single incident or it appears to be a mischief mischievous actor at play occasionally, we would continue. But given the scale of the disruption of the last 4 days in particular, we're examining how we can strengthen that legislation. For example, not only are we disrupting the entire education system, putting children at risk, disrupting the economy. Kingston Walls is one of the institutions that was threatened, I think, on Monday, and then subsequent to that, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the Commercial Shopping Center in New Kingston. All of those are major disruption to the lives of Jamaicans and provide significant threat risk. Deterrence will primarily to apprehend them. That's the biggest thing we can do, is to train our people to respond appropriately and to apprehend the players. The methodology used, telephones, internet, makes it particularly difficult, but we have increased our resources over the last few years, and we have strong support from our partners, and we expect to apprehend a number of them. But at the end of the day, I said we have to strengthen the legislation as well. Good to hear the request for strong legislation. We have said over and over, as part of our anti-crime fighting strategy, is to strengthen legislation, and those who are apprehended must be put away for long periods and removed from society.
Do remember that the individual who made that threat was sentenced, well, was fined $1 million or 8 months. And as the minister said, we're seriously contemplating increasing those. And also remember, we are currently in the process of reviewing the Cybercrimes Act, which will also deal with matters of that nature. Would Mocha have a view on that? All right, thank you very much. Are there any other questions?
Thank you, Minister. Yes, there are other questions.
Good morning. I am Raquel Porter from Radio Jamaica News, and my question is for Dr. Chang. In light of the recent Indicom report, body-worn camera, what is your reaction to the concern that has been raised in regards to the amount of civil incidents involving civilians, and there were no use or record of the incident via body-worn camera? What's your reaction? And if there, I know that, I beg your pardon?
First of all, we are aware, and as indicated, we view body cams as important part of the police equipment, but it has to be a part of the acquisition, as many other things are required by the police, which has had significant deficits over the last many years. In terms of the recent incidents, there's no suggestion, there's no hard evidence to suggest that the police is acting improperly and unethically and wildly in hurting and shooting people. There are incidents, of course, and they're investigated, and there's records, just as any other violation of individuals as offenses against the person, so to speak, which is what police action can be classified as. There are witnesses, there are records by telephones and other means in the modern world. And the police, through its IPROBE, this Department of Professional Ethics, as well as Indicom, investigates them thoroughly, as we investigate in the other offense against the person. Body cams is only one of the resource when they are investigating criminal action, the forensic lab, which has been redone, the police stations, which are where police operate from, the development of the IPROBE's department, and of course, resources to Indicom and others.
Okay, follow-up?
DPM, I think it's very important because the Indicom did reveal that they investigated 412 cases against the police, and 87% of them did not have sufficient evidence to support any charge or to support a recommendation for disciplinary action. So we have to view in context reports that make it seem that, as the minister says, officers are functioning in a willy-nilly manner.
My question, Dr. Chang, I'm not suggesting that they were acting, or the report stated that they were acting. The concern is that the security cameras in incidents where 119 civilians have been fatally shot over the period of January to October 23. Indicom report stated that the JCF produce evidence in a single case where a body-worn camera was used during the shooting. So what I'm asking, what is the JCF position? What is your position as minister to acquire additional body-worn camera and for them to be used?
Body-worn cameras is among the many resources we have to acquire, and to be among, it will be put on the list, but there are priorities. I have to acquire ballistic vests, ballistic helmets. I have to acquire motor vehicles. In fact, the surveys suggest that the most reassuring presence of the police in the community is patrols. That's cost item. In the process for patrol vehicles to be effective, I have to ensure there is effective communication. And that means acquiring not only police radios, but developing the entire network of communication. I have to provide the police with places to work from, which means fixing police stations. So, and the government has undertook all of these events and continue to do so. Body-worn camera is one of those elements, and it's part of what we'll do as we proceed. We have just ordered 3,000 printers and digital instruments for the PSTB, which is deal with traffic management, where we have over 300 deaths per year. Right? That has to be prioritized. And body-worn cameras among the equipment at some point in time.
I know Raquel has a follow-up, but let's go to another reporter and then we'll come back to follow-ups, all right?
Look, if evidence can be demonstrated that there is great emergency because policemen are acting abusively, we may have to move faster, but there's no such evidence. I think there is no question that the operation of the police force in recent times have demonstrated a level of professionalism that is commendable in all aspects of the operation. It's a force we have expanded from under 11,000 to near 14,000, and therefore there will be the odd case of unprofessional behavior, as happens in every field. From not only policing, men's, which I'm a member of, the pastors, you go in the professional field with several thousand Jamaicans, there'll be the odd unethical behavior. I don't see it as, what I see coming out is that there's increased professionalism by the police force across the country in every area. So body cams will be part of the equipment, but it's a part of the overall intent to equip the police effectively, and is among the costs identified. Some have been acquired and more will be acquired, but it has to be placed among the immediate requirements of the police.
Thank you, Minister. We have another, and then we'll come back to follow-ups.
Hi, good morning. Abigail Bartsley from Nationwide News. This question is for Dr. Chang or DCP Bailey. I know you mentioned that you'll be training staff in response to the bomb threats, but at the current moment, how are the JCF's resources faring or coping in response to the multiple threats, especially in a given day?
As indicated Mr. Bailey's comment, it's stretched the police and all the emergency services extensively because one of them prepared for the level of activity that came out. But they responded very professional, and they extend themselves across the island, and every institution was in fact visited and guided by the police ultimately. I'll allow Mr. DCP Bailey to expand on that. But we will be training more staff.
As indicated by the minister, the response was very good. I mean, most of the institutions that were affected were actually visited the same day. Maybe a few, because of they cannot operate in the dark, so to speak. They had to suspend the operation until the morning, but I would say over 90% of the calls were responded to the same day. It was a joint effort between the JCF and the JDF.
Thank you, DCP. I think Jamila had another.
My question is to DCP Bailey. It's in regards to the body cameras as well. Right now, I am aware that the JCF does have body cameras. Is it that the tactical operations or the specialized unit isn't prioritized with the body-worn cameras? We see them sometimes on peace step officers. We see them on the road. However, Indicom is concerned that even in planned police operations, the cameras aren't used at all, aren't functioning. What is the issue with that?
I will just say that the issue of body camera, let me go back to, I had a discussion maybe about 3 years ago with a law enforcement officer from the United States. And we had a long discussion regarding the issue of body camera. A lot of the citizens, and we understand the requirement, but it's not just taking a body camera and installing it on a police officer. There are some backends that will have to be installed. It's just more than just acquiring a camera. So I just want to make that very clear. It's not as easy as we think. Even the very uniform that you wear has to be created and so designed so that those body cameras can be attached. In fact, Minister, we got some body camera recently, and we are now trying to find a way how they can be fitted on the uniform. We have actually redesigned our uniform, as you are aware, and it is designed in order, generally, for body cameras to be fitted. But different suppliers have different types of body cameras, and so we have to contend with those issues as well.
All right, now a follow-up from Raquel.
A follow-up to the body-worn, Mr. Bailey. Can you said the JCF has acquired some. Can you say how many?
I don't have the figure, but I know that quite a few hundreds were acquired and are being worn. But unfortunately, sometime when those confrontations do take place, the officers who are involved, I mean, it depends. I mean, you might be out there without a body camera and you have to respond. You can't wait until you go and fit a body camera to respond to threat. I mean, you have to respond, and that's a harsh and cold reality.
So, with that said, is it that for example, officers going out on an operation, while the minister had said that the police officers are acting according to the law, wouldn't it be necessary or as an extra measure to protect the officers as well, given the fact that the evidence would be present if an allegation is made against them? So what is the JCF priority as it relates to that, acquiring more and functioning body cameras?
I'd take the question from Mr. Bailey. The government and the JCF first rule is to protect citizens, to save their lives and maintain public order. And the equipment and processes that contribute to that are the first priority. As indicated, the body camera is an important part of what we do for the police, and it protects the police more than effectively implement law enforcement. The police force was faced with serious deficit in their equipment, their quality of their ecosystem of operation, all across the world, not in a single government. For 50 years, we regard the police as almost an appendage. And very little was invested in the police force, except for the last 4 years. It's a fact of life, including all governments. And therefore, the priority is to provide the police force in adequate numbers, which is something that used to be, that was the first call by many who now ask for body cam, to put boots on the ground. Didn't like the term, but we have expanded the force significantly and intend to go further. That's high-cost equipment. That's high-cost item. Our police force now are better paid than they ever were before. Still not satisfactory, but they're among, in terms of starting the civil service, among the better ones. That's a high cost on the, both in training and expanding. We have provided with additional equipment to be in the community and working conditions that are better. Those are part of it, and therefore the body cam is a small part of that operation. The high cost items, just as the requirement for digital equipment for the traffic enforcement department, are high cost items. That all along the way you look at what is required to achieve better order and protect the lives of the citizens.
Thank you, Minister. We have another question, but I believe it's now for Minister Williams.
Hi, Minister Williams. My question is regarding the issue of ramps in schools. Ramps the installation of ramps in schools. The last update was that there were 302 installed. Do you have any further updates regarding that?
Okay, so our ramp in school is an ongoing project. Annually in our budgets, we have an allocation towards that. I know since we put out those numbers, we did complete one at Merle Grove. We completed another one at Spalding's. And the work continues. We know eventually we want to have all of our schools have ramps, whether it's be our primary schools or secondary schools, even our, other institutions as well. But it's an ongoing budgeted item annually.
Thank you, Minister. Another question here.
Morning. This question is for Dr. Chang. Dr. Chang, may you say how soon legislation will be brought to Parliament to treat with the cyber threats? And also you mentioned that you're looking into getting additional dogs. Can you say how soon?
Well, start with the second part. Dogs will be acquired, and that goes to a normal procurement process. We have K9 unit, both the JDF and the police currently active, which responded during this current crisis very effectively. But we'll expand it. We don't produce our own dog now. We acquire them from 2 overseas sources, and therefore we'll have to look, based on the advice of our security teams, what we acquire in the next budget. In fact, both institutions have in fact expanded their facilities. I think there's the JDF has expanded their facility at Monteague in particular, and the JCF in the corporate area, and we will ensure that there are a fair number of dogs. It's difficult to describe what is the adequate number given the face of what happened the last few days, but we'll take the advice of the security forces. In terms of legislation, the Cybersecurity Act covers the cyber side of it. What we're looking at now is the conduct and behavior of the individuals involved, and whether we should not amend and strengthen the Public Mischief Act and also bring this under any new legislation that might be could come from the advice of the legal teams involved.
Minister, thank you. Let's hear from the sole male from the media cadre.
Good morning. Andre Williams, and I am reporting with the Gleaner. My question is for Dr. Chang or DCP Bailey. I came in the room and I heard that the resources are stretched in relation to the bomb threats. We have to contend with crime and other emergencies and so forth. How long can we continue to probe the incidents without finding the root cause? Is there a timeline or so forth? We're going into the Yuletide season now, and I'm sure we wouldn't want to have the discourse with bomb threats and whatever else happens during the Christmas season.
Well, I will let Mr. Bailey give you the operational details, but look, you cannot put a timeline or limit on this kind of activity. The perpetrators are operating over the warp mine, and they will seek opportunities to disrupt at the most opportune time. In fact, they chose schools. The schools are sensitive area. I mean, every Jamaican, I'd say 99.999% of Jamaicans are very caring about the children. It's one thing Jamaicans have a lot of respect for. You go any community you go to. And therefore, to disrupt and threaten the kids is a very disruptive, a very traumatic activity in the community. And that's why they choose schools to start with. They know the response to the community be quite, of the country would have to be aggressive, but also very, in many ways, the entire country would be concerned, and therefore it distracts and diverts to your attention. The fact they're using the internet, telecommunication, the world today is based on telecommunications, electronic telecommunication, and you cannot lock it down. Some countries have attempted to do so, limit it and other things, and those tend to be countries with authoritarian regimes. We are an open society, and the chances are that this kind of activity could increase. We have to be prepared, as I said, both in terms of sensitization and prevention, as well as the adequate staffing to reach out. The security teams indicate very clearly that generally the ones who will take action tend not to inform you. And that's why the So it's, when this start happening, that could happen. We have to have our JCF teams, JDF teams, emergency team, and hospital teams adequately prepared. And that, of course, an added burden to their strength, but they are responding well and will, in fact, put more resources in the area. Mr. Bailey.
I hardly think I can add much to your comment, DPM, because there's no timeline really to investigation. We are working round the clock to see, how we can solve this matter. As one person was arrested, as you know, but we have some other leads that we are looking at. And we have to also be mindful that there are copycats around as well. So it's difficult for us to really put a timeline, but we are using all the resources available to us to ensure that this matter is properly investigated and whoever is responsible brought to justice.
Thank you, DCP. Thank you, Minister. I believe we now have another question, but for Minister Morgan.
And here I was thinking I would escape today.
I'm Minister Morgan,
Morning.
Abigail again. This is with regards to an assertion by the Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal. She made an assertion yesterday saying the public should be concerned or made aware of delays in the tabling of anti-corruption reports in Parliament. Just asking if you have any response to that, and do you agree with that assertion?
Well, the important thing to say is the fact there are absolutely no reports pending to be tabled in Parliament. The Speaker of the House would have been informed by the legal officer of the House on the law as it relates to tabling of reports and made a ruling based on that legal opinion. No one has yet been able to present to us any adverse finding that the Speaker is functioning outside the law. Parliament does not function in secret. Every single sitting, whether it be a committee, except for a matter of national security in very rare cases, are done in the glare of the public. That's what the Constitution dictates. So one, the Speaker has assured that reports will be tabled. And even if a report goes to a committee, committees do not sit in private. It will be public, and I think the public is being treated unfairly by some of these persons who are commenting, because I think their language at times is misleading, because there are no delayed reports, none. All reports have been tabled, and when reports are tabled, the committees, whether it be the House generally, or committees of Parliament, are public committees. So the public will get an opportunity to view, listen, and hear what is in whichever report, wherever it's tabled in the Parliament. Thank you. That's it, Naomi.
All right. There are no further questions from the media fraternity at post-cabinet today. So, Minister, over to you.
Thank you very much, Naomi. I want to thank Minister Favour Williams for attending and giving us update as it relates to what's happening in our school system based on the challenges we had over the last several days. Also, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, representatives from MOCA, as well as representatives from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, representatives from the media, and members of the viewing public. Thank you very much. Also, our support staff here, Jamaica Information Service, PBCJ. Thanks again for attending another post-cabinet press briefing. We look forward to having you next Wednesday at 8 a.m. sharp. Until next time, thank you very much. So I don't get no applause. I don't understand.
Watch the trend, big up the trend, T-R-E-N-D. Big up the trend for education, teachers and the students. A fully bright future, yes, that are the new trend. Better governance, partner with the parents. Follow the big trend, elevate the youth them. Improve the schools, track performance, access and attendance. From infant, primary to university students. Turn up the skills training, full steam, we are giving. Follow the big trend, elevate the schools, yeah. Watch the trend, pick up the trend. This are the trend for all the youths them. Watch the trend, pick up the trend. T-R-E-N-D. For more technology, yes, and better planning, quality education, that's what should be trending. From principals to EOs, everybody winning. Follow the ministry, we're changing the system. Watch the trend, pick up the trend.
This is Trend, Transforming Education for National Development, a program designed by the Ministry of Education and Youth to transform.
In case of an earthquake and the place starts shaking. Drop, cover, and hold on. Drop, cover, and hold on. In case of an earthquake,
there's a few tips that can keep you from harm. In case of an earthquake, you gotta stay calm. Move away from doors, windows, and things that can fall. Try not to use steps or elevators at all.
drop. Protect your head on your face. Don't go running all over the place. Cover under a bed or a table. Against a wall that's firm and stable.
Hold on.
You must hold on. Don't panic. Stay calm.
Don't move until the shaking stops. Here it is. Drop, cover, and hold on.
Drop, cover, and hold on. In case of an earthquake.
Drop, cover, and hold on.
Learn how to protect yourself during an earthquake. Log on to weready.org. That's weready.org for more information.
As an inner city youth, I'm a duty to know the laws and my rights. These laws affect all our self-interest and safety.
The law says throwing garbage in public places or on other premises without consent will lead to prosecution. I see it online. I know my laws and my rights. Do you? Know your laws. Know your rights. Respect you.
Hello everyone. Welcome again to another session of how to manage your conflicts. For today, we will be focusing on two areas. One, we will be looking at factors that contribute to escalation in a negative situation. And two, we want to share with you some critical, effective words or action that will help you to assist your children in de-escalating. Today I have my class with me. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi, miss.
All right, so let me briefly introduce. We have Juanita, PJ, Tammy, Steph, and Simone. Wave to them, everybody. Okay, and so Class, we have been talking about managing conflict, but today I want us to focus on feelings. In particular, our words can affect our feelings. I want you to think about yourself, and I want you to think about others. Yes. Are we ready?
Yes, miss.
So we'll be doing a little acting today. Wow. And so, let us begin with Juanita. Juanita, yes. You will take on the role of a mother.
Yes, miss.
Ah, you love that.
Yes.
Then PJ, you will be the conductor on the bus.
Miss.
Tammy, you will be the security guard at the gate. All right. Steph, you are the classroom teacher. And Simone, you will be the principal at this school, all right? Yes. So we will be dealing with a student, and we're doing a lot of pretending today. So I want you to pretend that this is a student, and the name of the student is John, right? Everybody say, hello, John.
Hello, John.
All right. So John is a typical day in John's life. Now, we're going to demonstrate how the words and John's daily experiences, how the words that are used in, especially negative words, how it can contribute to John. John is always fighting. And they're trying to they're trying to assist John with his feelings and how to manage feelings and manage behavior. Why is John always fighting? We will see in a little while. So, students, we're going to use negative words to John. We want to see how our negative words can cause John's feelings to escalate, meaning to increase rapidly, and he will become angry based on how we're going to speak with him and how the negative words are going to affect him. All right? So, John, you are his mother, remember? So, hold on to John. Now, John is on his way to school, and he's asking mommy for some lunch money. All right? Let's see what happens.
Lunch money? We must get lunch money from, boy. Your father now mind you, but don't have it. Just come out of the house. Anyway, if you find it from, find it. Come and really have it right now. Life hard. Everybody have to fend for themselves, John. You will try and come out of the house and go on.
All right, he's on his way to school, bus conductor.
The idiot boy, man, father. When I tell you if you not come back from my bus without no money, you tell you left off for this before me after this year.
All right, he's at the school gate.
Boy, every morning you're late. You just lazy and can't wake up out of your bed a little earlier. Lord.
Classroom. 8:45. My class started at 8 o'clock. Everybody came here at 8 excepting you, Mr. John, just walking in here. Look at you. Don't even have your book and pencil. Not ready for school, not ready for the world. Go to the office of the principal. Let me teach my class. John, you again?
My goodness, this is about the third time this week you're coming into my office. John, you know, I don't think you're working out in this environment. You know, perhaps you need a new environment to exist in.
So you notice how the negative words was causing John to just shake and to be moving? Can you imagine? Class, what if I were to open this soda over Stephanie's head?
Yes, miss. The open up and wet her up. Open it, miss.
No, I will not do that. I was just demonstrating, I was showing you how the negative words can cause us to, the negative feelings to escalate, to be on the rise. No, each time with each negative word, you can imagine how John was feeling?
Yes, miss.
John was getting, how you think John was feeling? Bubbling, that is the bubbling. Yes.
Everybody coming at him.
Yeah, I'm head get at miss.
So in the words of our DJ, Bounty Killer, John is cross. John is
angry.
John is angry. John is ready to fight, you know?
Yes.
John is ready to fight. So negative words can easily escalate a bad situation. Do you all agree?
True, miss. That's true.
But we don't want that to happen to John. John has done enough fighting. We want to help John to be a better person, to manage his feelings so that he's not always in a conflict. So this time we're going to do that again, but we're going to use positive words this time. We are going to use what?
Positive words.
And each time you use a positive word, I want you to just slowly help John to release some of the anger so that others can see how our words or actions can de-escalate a bad situation. So, Mother, I'll start with you again.
So must tell him the same thing, miss, but tell him nicer.
Yes, Juanita. And you have to try to be
Not for upset him like
so
something.
even your facial expression and body